freedom, so to speak, with certain things.
What do you use for editing software?
Adobe Premiere.
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy.
I actually just got the they allow you to have like all the apps and stuff. Like there's like a bundle, and I wanted it for Photoshop because I've never learned Photoshop. I did all like thumbnails and stuff in Canva, and it's just like simple but more restricting. And so
Okay.
I'm trying to learn how to do thumbnails like literally as we speak right now. Actually, I've been trying to work on some stuff, but
Yeah,
it is
I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I'll just say that.
same. Well, literally while I'm at work, I just have like all the time to just listen to anything and everything.
Oh, like a really good podcast?
Huh?
Like a really good podcast?
Like a really good podcast. Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts for sure.
All right, I'm gonna launch the live. Why do I sound like I'm in the water?
Sounded like auto-tune kind of hit for a second.
Oh, yep. That's because I accidentally turned it on. I don't know how to use auto tune. I have no idea. On my sound card, I got like all the different notes, and you select a note, and I don't know what to do once I select a note. It's bad news, Noah. It's bad news.
I think you're supposed to sing in that note, but
see, I don't know the notes.
I don't know anything. Yeah, I wouldn't either.
You know? So I try not to touch that button. Someday I'm gonna learn though. Then I'll hop in Rust. All right, I'm gonna start this up. On Facebook. All right, boom, live. Yep, and we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Last Class Podcast. Tonight we got the long-awaited interview with GBK. Let's pull him in here. I gotta switch over. There he is, and bring this up. That's not what I wanted to bring up. Whoops. Leave it to me to mess that up. Anyway, so welcome GBK to the podcast. Have you ever been interviewed before?
One time, and it was Player 2. Player 2, that's actually how we met. He asked me to be on I think he was doing, it was like an interview. I couldn't remember if it was a podcast or not, but it was, quite literally, he like interviewed streamers up and coming on Facebook, and that's how we met initially.
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, surprised me with that one. All right, so
actually, could you give me 1 single second?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I'll do your intro while you step away.
Thank you.
He's totally gonna wish he heard this because it's gonna be a nice intro. But actually, I'm gonna take this second to adjust this chat box here. So we can get that in here. There we go. Fixed. What is going on here, Google? Get that up. I just hit a bunch of buttons. I just hit all the function buttons at once. Hopefully I did not mess anything up. Can you guys hear Noah good? Did you guys hear Noah?
Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. I got Jess running audio checks right now anyway.
Noise.
Oh, yeah, GBK. I should probably try and call him by GBK.
You can call me Noah, man.
So, introducing Greenbay Kill, GBK, or Noah, I guess. We can call him whatever. Been streaming for over 4 years now. Amassed, about 11,000 followers on Facebook, 4,000 on Twitch, 2,000 on YouTube. And I don't know your TikTok because I don't have TikTok, but last I heard it's well within the thousands.
Yeah, I think I was actually really getting close to 30K on that, which thought was
Holy.
really cool.
So
TikTok's great, man. I love it.
well over 50,000 followers throughout the community. Recorded 2 music videos and
Three.
multiple
Three.
tracks. 3? I missed one then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure 3.
I thought I did so good on my research too. Notable games you play: Rust, Ark, Sea of Thieves, Grand Theft Auto RP, Warzone, Fortnite, and Minecraft. And maybe some Pal World in there, I hear. That's the word.
Yeah, I have played Power World. Pretty good. Pretty great game.
Yeah. Me and Jess got in on it too. We got in on it for a little bit there. We got hooked right away. So
Oh
very
yeah,
good game.
and that's the kind of game that'll pull you in for like stupid amounts of hours.
Do you got Key playing it?
Say that again?
You got Key playing it with you?
No, Key didn't play it. She was with me. She watched as I played it for a while, but she's only really into Minecraft and Ark were her 2 games. Those are the games like she really wanted to play like a lot.
I got Jess playing Minecraft for a little bit too, but I think that I actually lost interest in it. I felt bad. She put in so much work on the base, and I just kind of disappeared.
Yeah,
Can't win them all. You can't win them all.
it is what it is.
You co-streamed with notable streamers such as Player2 Gaming, HD Forgotten, Bloodbath Gaming, and Violent Hippie.
Oh yeah.
So that was everything I had for your introduction. But
Yeah.
if we want to get in some questions here, first and foremost, because I know all my Minnesota listeners are going to ask, where'd the name come from? I know why, but they need to know.
Man, it's been a while since I've even said this. Yeah, so when I was like 12 or 13 years old, I never liked football necessarily. Like I thought it was cool, more so because my grandpa and my dad liked it. But yeah, my grandpa and my dad liked the Green Bay Packers, so I'm like, oh, in my head when I was a kid, I'm like, I want to make them proud, so I'm gonna name myself Green Bay. And then I played a lot of Call of Duty World at War Zombies and Halo 3 at the time, so it was like Kill because I played shooter games, and that was my crazy invention of the name when I was a kid.
Now, do you follow any sports? I know you don't do football.
I don't follow anything. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. There's been times where I've like thought, yeah, I feel like basketball. I think I could get into basketball like if I actually started catching up like what's even I couldn't even tell you what's going on with anything, but that's the only thing where when I watch I'm like, ooh, this is actually kind of entertaining to watch. But I don't feel that way about other sports. I don't know why.
Now, did you play any sports growing up?
Yeah, I pretty much played everything. I did like when I was little, my grandpa, he played a lot of golf, so I did like little golf lessons for a while and played a little golf. I did soccer, basketball. My most notable, but the one that actually was like the bigger impact was football. I played football for like 3 or 4 years.
What'd you play? What position?
I was defensive end and right tackle, and for like a bit, I don't know, it was weird. I played right guard, but then I also played right tackle. It was weird. It was more so when like my freshman year. They just kind of moved me between the two. Kind of weird, I thought, but
just feeling it out. See where you did best. Moving around.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now big one for me here. Where did the forehead kisses come from?
The forehead kisses?
How'd that start? I've always wanted to know.
I want to remember when I started doing that because it was like kind of random that I feel like it started happening. You know, I don't even know if I could answer that. I almost want to say it was probably someone like first person that maybe comes to my head would be like Evan McBee. I think about him like possibly maybe like saying something or somebody saying something and then it became a thing. But I can't like know when that started. I don't know why, but I feel like it had to have been the community just saying something like, you know, something stupid.
Now, do you know all the Evans like personally? Did you know them before streaming or outside of streaming?
No. I knew well, let's see. I'm trying to think. No. None of them. The only one now that I know in person is Ebony. Ebony, we met in Vegas.
The great Ebony.
Ebony.
That voice. Oh, I love that voice.
I'm not gonna kill your audio with loud, whatever you want to call that.
We got a noise gate and everything on. I got some settings going. Yeah,
okay.
Should be okay. Fine. We should be all right.
Good.
Now, why did you decide to start streaming? What brought on the idea to say, I love video games so much, let's get on camera?
Growing up, I always watched. So notable people for me would have been. There was a YouTuber named Corey Kenshin that I got really, really, really into. And he's a dope dude. And that would have been around 20. I mean, I watched people for years, like PewDiePie. PewDiePie was huge for me in my childhood. Like I grew up watching PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier. Those are like some big names. I don't watch them really anymore, but yeah, I don't know. I always was fascinated by the idea that people make videos. And the funny part is actually, and I think a lot of people don't even know, when I was on, first started on Facebook, I was posting videos. I wasn't posting live streams. I wanted to make videos. I didn't want to stream. And so I posted like a handful of really cringe, horribly edited videos, that I think are still on there right now. Like you could watch them, if you go back. But, yeah, I wanted to make videos initially, but then a guy, his name was Kane. I worked with him at Dot Foods, and he told me, bro, you should try Facebook. And he said like Facebook was cool, like because I tried Twitch out, and I was like, oh man, I'm not getting any traction. Which the reality that I just didn't understand how these things worked truly. Like you can't just go live and expect something. But Facebook was different. Facebook was like you could go live initially, and like somehow you would pop up on people's feeds, yeah, he told me to try it, and I was like, well, I'll try streaming. But yeah, I kind of started from there, I guess. The want was just, I think every person, a lot of people who have an interest in gaming, especially, like to think, oh, you could play games and get paid for it as a job. That is a very cool premise and idea. So it's like, of course it's an attractive idea.
But I don't think a lot of people realize the work that goes in to content creation. I know I didn't. Good Lord, I did not realize the hours you can put in to make one video.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Or just one reel. Not even a full length video, just one reel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It took me a couple hours to make a not good one. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it.
I can tell you, even like now, like because I talked to you just a little bit ago, like I'm just now learning to use Photoshop. And I've spent I can't tell you how many hours just already just trying to learn, right? And the learning is what takes a lot of, when you're trying to get into content. Like whenever I learned how to edit videos, but you just don't know how to do it, you have to learn first. So you're sinking in hours and hours and hours just to learn. And then now you've learned basics, but now you're thinking in your head, how do I do like a zoom effect? It's a simple thing, but how do I do it? Now you got to learn how to do it and then get good. It all takes a lot of time, but it's worth the investment. It's really cool once you get into it, I think.
I was just telling Jess I learned that effect on videos like a couple hours ago. I was like, oh my God, I figure out how to pan in and do the transition. So I was like, it's big time.
Let's go.
It's big time.
Yeah, bro. That's dope, though.
I mean, it only took like 40 minutes of watching videos to learn one thing. But
that's how it is, because you almost, whenever I was starting, I didn't know what questions to ask, right? And you might have it in your head like, I want to know how to do this, and you have the idea, but you don't know how to ask. And then when you try and ask, you get some kind of answers, but they're not what you're looking for. So it's just the research, just researching what you're trying to figure out. That in itself takes even more time.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So
big time sink.
When you started, were you planning to go full time, make it a job, or were we just having fun? wanting to put videos out there? Like, what was the goal when you started?
I believe I'm trying to remember. I wanted to see if I remember initially like having the conversations with Kiana, because I worked full time at a place called Dot Foods, and it was just when COVID hit, right? Which is the case for a lot of people who maybe have a similar story like I do. Actually, a lot of people do, that they started during COVID, and I always wanted to try, but now we were inside. We were literally, we're just not doing anything. And in my head, I'm like, okay, well, if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna try and do something. Um, I did have the intention to go, so to speak, all in, not necessarily to say this is gonna become my job. I had no intention of getting any sort of, that being the reality. So when that did happen, that was just like the coolest thing, right? Because I definitely did not expect that. But I did buy like this camera that I'm using right now. I've had this thing for literally forever. Like when I first started, and it was like $1,000 camera, and I had some money, and I'm like, I'm gonna get it. And then I had to buy a cam link because you got to get this little device that plugs in. And at the time, it was like $200 or $300 for this little device just to get a DSLR camera to work. It was so stupid, but I went ahead and bought the stuff. I'm like, I want to try. I'm gonna do everything I can to see if I can make anything out of content. And again, I was doing videos first before I did streaming. But yeah, I didn't intend on anything though.
That's crazy. The camera is well worth it. Those forehead kisses always looked immaculate.
Thank you.
That is
Thank you for
best investment.
that.
Now, after talking about how much time goes into editing and creating this content, how do you find a way to balance your work and family life while you were streaming?
I did not have a balance. I actually had it's so many reasons. Like I could definitely go into it, but it would be, there's a lot about it because, as you probably know yourself, for me, I kind of explained to people that it's the best thing and also the worst thing that had happened to me. Because I became all consumed with everything, right? That's all that was on my brain. Go to sleep, I'm thinking about it. I wake up, I'm thinking about it. While I'm spending time with my son or my wife, I'm thinking about it. And it's like I couldn't separate it. I couldn't keep it away. And I didn't want to either. And I didn't realize what kind of, that can cause some damage when you're all consumed and all of a sudden you're not focusing on priorities such as your family, like just quality time, things like that. I found myself just steering kind of away from that. Like, and I didn't mean to, I didn't want to do that. But I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I kind of self reflected like, man, I effed up, like not realizing that I was putting way too much time towards it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. But I do love it though. I think it's great. I think now, as of right now, in terms of balance, right? Because that would have been the question. Uh, Now I'm working at night shift, and then I'm not with my family during the day because they do their stuff during the day, so I'm kind of not with them. So the balance right now is I'm just like when I'm not with them, I take time to edit and I'm learning and doing things like that. But um, yeah, for the most part now, I feel like there's a good balance and I feel happy about it. Um, but I think that it's probably a hard thing for anyone who has a family who wants to get into this kind of thing. I think that that's just like probably a never ending battle to figure out what kind of balance really works. Um, Especially if you plan to do it full time, the time sink is just it's a lot, right? And that's something I also like, being responsible for your income entirely. Like I had never worked a job or done anything that it's like you are responsible. You're not clocking in and you're going to make X an hour. It's let's see what happens this month. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's hope because I need, I have to eat food and pay for my house. So it's like, yeah, that was a huge stress, that whole thing. And it's yeah, I don't know. I feel like I could ramble on for a while, but yeah, I don't know. Hard to find a balance for sure.
But I got two follow-ups for that one.
Okay.
One, do you think it's harder having to work in the house with the family as opposed to conventional job of being outside the house? Essentially being there but not being there
Mm.
because you're trying to work but knowing they're on the other side of the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I first started, I was literally right next to them. 5 feet away out the hallway was our bedrooms, like Zach's and ours, and it was all just very together. That was when I had the blue wall, the blue triangles. That's they were right beside me. Um, it wasn't until I moved to where I'm at now that there was a upstairs and it was far. And we tested it. I'm like yelling and stomping up there, and she would be in both of their bedrooms down here, and you can't hear anything. So it's like they're finally that separation where it's like I'm not bothering them or keeping anybody up because that would typically be on like later. Um, I think that was definitely nice. But I can say now, like you said, like, was your question? Is it harder? What's harder? Or
Is it harder working in the house but still not able to give them any time because you're, consumed with having to work or doing a live stream or
mm,
editing videos as opposed to, going and punching in for your 8 hours out of the house?
I definitely think it's. I find like my full time job right now. I find it to be easy, but I don't like. I'm finding more recent, like my son, he had 105 temp like not that long ago, and he was really sick. And I can tell the one thing that has gotten me kind of riled up because for years I've lived in a way that if that's the case, well, I'm going to take care of my kid and I'm staying home. And now I have to report to somebody and say, "Can I pretty please because my son's sick?" And they can tell me no. And oh, I don't have enough accumulated sick time. It's like all these things can be the case. And he had I don't really know if he had like a stomach flu or something, but he was like throwing up one night, and I wanted to be home to help, and I could, I really couldn't because I can't, I'm reporting into whoever. I ended up going home, and they were cool with it, but it's like I don't know. I find it difficult now. Now I want to be next. I want to be with them, and
Right.
and now I can't. Um, so that part's hard, but I also think yeah, if you're just like it's hard to separate. I think your work life from personal or family when you're in the house working, right? It's kind of hard to
No, that makes
separate.
perfect sense.
Yeah.
So they easily both come with their own set of challenges.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. There's a lot for both, I think. But there's great things for both too.
Do you think that's probably a leading contributor to streamers quitting?
Ooh.
Is the issue with separation from work and family life?
Yeah, I definitely think the streamers who do have families, I think, yeah, it's hard. And I also think based on I feel like I was like incredibly privileged with the time that I was able to have. I was actually able to do it and dedicate at a point all my time to it. So um I could make it work, right? I had plenty of hours while everyone's doing their thing to, a normal work. Like right now I work 10-hour shifts, bang out 10 hours of doing everything I got to do each day. That's plenty of time. But if I think for streamers who, and typically a lot of people don't do it full time, like, there's a small percentage who actually really, do it in that capacity. But to balance spending time with your kid and your wife, and also you have to go to work and to try and fit in that time, I imagine it's, that's incredibly hard for I would say yes, probably yeah. I would think a lot of people would quit because of that. But I've also seen a lot of people who like, they know that it's hard, but they want it bad and they make the time, right? But I still think ultimately, you're sacrificing time away from whoever to some capacity, right? But,
right. It's going to be somebody, some way.
yeah, but you just said it's like, oh, you're trying to edit up some videos. Oh, you just did a short that took you how many hours, right? You said it's like
Way too many.
right. So it's like just that. Imagine you're going to work and you got all these responsibilities. Well, you might get a video out, one short video out a week if you're trying to find like a really good balance and you're trying to but really put in forth effort, and then maybe you get efficient. It's like, oh, I can get 2 or 3 out. But like in my head, I did a lot of research and people are saying, you should upload about 3 to 5 short videos a day, right? If you want to be optimal for your growth and you want the algorithm to say, yeah, this, like on TikTok, for example, you want to post 3 to like 6 a day. That's what they say. Yeah, a day. That's a lot of like if you look it up, that's a lot of what information will be provided to you, right? They'll say if you want the best opportunity for growth, that's what you want to do. And I found myself, I spend a lot of time editing like my stuff, and I'm like, I edit one video, and I'm like, what? I gotta do more of the like I gotta pump out 2.
That's crazy to me. I would almost feel like people would get sick of seeing me post if I was dropping 6 videos a day.
Yeah. I mean, I think
that's crazy.
I agree. I definitely agree, but it's also, my experience with, at least again, I like TikTok. I like TikTok a lot. It's just, I feel like the people on there, at least on my side of what I've seen, most people are really positive. They're really nice. And not to mention, it reaches so many more people than any other platform I've ever been on. It just reaches so many more people. So it's like, I can see, if you look at a lot of analytics on there, you might think, oh, they're getting sick of me. But then you look and only 2% of those are your followers, right? Who have viewed it. And then 99% says for you, right? Typically that can happen a lot.
Oh,
that's what I see. So it's like generally it's just so many new people. So I think you have to separate, because I thought that too. I'm like, people have to be annoyed with me posting, if I always thought about it, if I wanted to post more than one. But yeah, it could be new people every single time, so you just never know.
That's crazy. I never would have thought that. You're talking 2% or followers. How many average views do you get on your TikTok videos?
Well, I'm curious if I could look up the, of course it gives me sketch right off the rip. Hey, excuse me, brother. I get that right off the rip when I go in there. Holy crap. I noticed so there's analytics that you can go into. You can just, it's like this, right? So you go in here and then it tells you it's mirrored for you, but yeah, it's like, yeah, here it says For You page was 98% of traffic on one video. And then if I go, I'll just scroll to the next one, 94% For You. And then 4% were followers, right? And I found that wild to believe, and I'm not gonna go through every single one, but most every single video, like I'll look at analytics and it literally is like 90+% every time is For You page. And if I have something that flops, it's typically then it'll be a high percentage of just followers. Like they're like, it's a bad video, so it didn't push out to new people. It's just people who follow. But TikTok typically has been good to me, at least with pushing my stuff out to new people. Yeah, so I like that. Facebook Reels can be great too. I like Reels or Instagram Reels, I guess, but I only dealt with like Facebook really.
Shooting for YouTube Shorts and Facebook Reels. Hopefully someday I'll get off Facebook and get everyone to go to like Twitch for me or something, or Kick. But right now I'm just riding the Facebook train.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the amount of work, amount of hours, and everything that goes into being a streamer. So hopefully we've kind of changed someone's opinion on them throughout the chat here, realize how much work goes into it. But do you think in general people take being a content creator as a serious career?
Do I think, say that one more time? Do I think that they
just in general that people feel content creators are viewed seriously?
I think older people don't typically. I've run into there was a lot of people I used to work with. I saw them at the grocery store, and this is like I was like 2 years in of doing content, and this lady, she's like, Noah, I haven't seen you in a while, and I'm like, hey, what's up? She said, what have you been doing? And I said, and I've never known how to translate that to somebody. Oh, I'm a streamer. I'm a video. Like, I don't know how to properly say that, but it really is just like, yeah, I was a streamer. Like, I stream full time. I said I pretty much I'm playing video games and just I chat with people, whatever. And she said, "Oh, so you're a stay-at-home dad? That's awesome." And like, and it was like I looked at her and I said, "Yeah, I am, and it's great." Like, and that's what I'm just like I went with it. I was like, sure, I'll go with it. Kind of discredited me, made me feel a little bad. Like, yeah, well, you know what, whatever. But at the same,
some of them older ladies are just the most low key savage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
My mom, which is not old by any means, because I definitely know she's in here. Very young woman, old enough to be my mom though.
Right.
She's low key savage, super low key savage.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't even know it sometimes.
Yeah, I think that about my mom too. Yeah, she can be that way.
She used to hop in the streams once in a while. Does she still hop in when you pop on a stream nowadays?
Are you talking about
your mother?
Oh, my mom? Yeah. Well, not really anymore. And the only reason would be is because I haven't really been live, and also it's completely random. She popped in she said every night she would check on me, and it was on TikTok because I'd be live on TikTok, and she actually uses it. So every night she would watch me for a little bit.
That's what good moms do.
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%.
She just said hi. Hi, Ma. Love you, Mom. So we talked about how many followers you got. You've built a huge community. Very, very impressive. A very beautiful community, with the exception of some from TikTok. You know the ones I'm talking about. But anyway, how does it make you feel to know you brought so many people together?
I definitely feel the sense of community, I think, was huge when I was doing Warzone. I'll be honest. I think when I was playing Warzone, the community felt really tight. I still do feel that way now that like a lot of the OGs are still around, and I think that's awesome. But yeah, I think lately I don't know, I think it's cool, but one thing I think I've always done wrong is like I'm a very bad communicator, and I'm very bad at staying up to date with things. I know you laugh, like I feel like that's got to be everyone's reaction who watched me. Then they know that to be true. But I hated that. I just never. I don't know. I'm just horrible. That's the only thing I could really say. But I feel like over time, I could have done a better job at, keeping everyone updated. What's going on? What I'm doing, where I'm at, what platform. Like, I left Facebook, and I remember making a post months and months later, like a long post, like, hey, I think I forgot to tell you guys, because there's a lot of people who followed that didn't keep up every day, but did check in every now and then, and those people then just are gone. They're like, oh, what happened to him? I don't know. Well, all right, and that's the end of that. But yeah, I think I could have done a lot better with that kind of thing, which I'm trying.
You pop in the Discord, we see you.
Yeah,
I laugh because I'm the same way. I really am. I'm horrible at getting back to people. My mom in here can attest to it. Oh, hey, my stepdad and boss is in here. They can all attest to it. Everyone will agree. That's why I never knock you for it, because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is what it is, I guess. But
and it's like you put off sending a text back for a minute, and then other ones come in, and that one drops down out of eyesight. You forget about it. Like it's the game we play.
Yeah, if it's stupid though, and it shouldn't happen. It should not be that way. But yeah, I relate heavy to seeing something, and then I'm like, well, let me finish this real quick, and then I completely forget, and yeah, it's horrible. You can have personal anger against me if you want it. If you'd be very right to,
Oh, hey, Evan E's in here. Welcome, Evan E. Good to see you. We were just talking about the Evans. That's true. We had to bring you guys up. Which platform did you prefer the best? I'm guessing you're going to say TikTok because of the exposure. But as far as ease of streaming and everything goes, which was your favorite?
That's actually I don't know. That's very interesting. What you said, the ease of streaming, talking streaming specifically? We're talking just
as
streaming?
far as, using the software, it not bugging out and getting, notifications out, all the good stuff. I know you can't say Facebook.
I think at the beginning it was, but it really things on Facebook the first couple of years, or that year and a half too, just in that area was awesome. It was very easy to stream on there. I did like the interface. I thought, or the UI, whatever. It was all good. And the information was easily in your face. But I would say probably all in all, I think Twitch probably still does have the best. I don't know. I like the way they set up alerts, and they've even updated it recently where it's even more organized and up to date. And it's just the chat's clean. Everything's very clean and easy to use. So I would say probably Twitch, but TikTok's really cool too. I do like TikTok a lot. Especially if you have their live studio, they have a lot of cool things that you can add to your stream if you want to. I don't know. It works. I think it works pretty easy as well. They're all pretty good.
Which one would you say was best for the viewers?
Ooh, I don't know. I would probably say Twitch.
I'd agree with that.
Channel points and, Tina twerks and forehead kiss, that kind of stuff being redeemable channel points. And everything's just nice. I don't know. I think it's a very community oriented, but at the same time, Facebook had the groups that you could integrate as well. So people could just not everyone has Discord, but anyone who's in Facebook, it's kind of an all-in-one. You can post, keep people up to date with just regular posts. You can post videos. You can go live. You can create groups, and a lot of things that they really have. I just think that they fumbled, in my personal opinion. I don't know how things are as of recently, but my experience, I'll tell this story very briefly. I became partnered with Facebook, and I'm like, wow, so cool. And that was awesome for a year. And then out of nowhere, everything went bad really fast. That's when all these creators were leaving. And it wasn't in my head, I'm like, no, a lot of creators might like to blame other things, right? And I didn't like to believe that that's the case. I believe that I'm responsible for myself. So if I'm doing bad, that's because I'm doing something wrong. That's what I would tell myself when it came to Facebook. The reality is it could have been a combination of both, but I know for a fact that it really was Facebook. I have emails with me and my partner manager telling me we're aware that people just don't get notifications. We're going to try and figure it out. We'll let you know what's going on with that. And it's never hear anything back. And then you read post after post after post where everyone's saying, hey guys, I'm going live at this time. I don't know why noties aren't going out, just make sure to show up at this time. And it was a big thing. And then out of nowhere, I was a part of the partner program Discord. All the partners were in this one Discord together, or all the English speaking were in the same Discord. And out of nowhere, we had 8 managers, and we had our own personal one, for X amount of people, whatever. And then all of a sudden, ding, 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 they're all gone. Their names gone from the Discord. Only one was left. And he just gives a brief post. I could probably still find it. I
Wow.
think it's still there. But he pretty much said like, the layoffs happened, so they obviously stopped funding and care. I think, they're like, this isn't the lucrative part of our business, right? Facebook as a whole. So they just dropped a lot of things with that. And then I ended up getting a partner manager again. Even now I get emails now.
Still?
I'm supposed to stream a minimum. I have a minimum contractual obligation, and I haven't met that for years. And they still have me partnered. And I get emails, and the guy, he messed up one time and sent me the template. Like it was like, hey, and then it said insert name here, like of creator, right? It said insert name here, and then had the rest, and then at the bottom insert name here again. And I was like, oh man, this is not good for them. So yeah, Facebook, in my opinion, was a whole mess. As of now, I don't want to discredit it, especially since you're streaming on there, and I also haven't stayed up to date in a long time. I hope that things have gotten better.
I got one viewer that gets every notification. I got others that might get them. I got some that have never got them. It's still Facebook.
Yeah,
it runs smooth enough, and I just hope for the best.
It is good. I really liked streaming on Facebook, but those things, the issues, the internal problems that they were having, it just made it like, how do you look into the long term? At least this was my opinion. I'm like, if I want to continue doing this, I need to be. I got the email from my manager saying they're aware of the issue. They knew it was happening, but they couldn't fix it. Like, how can you not just, I want my notification. I want this guy to get notified. That's as simple as that. Yeah, so that's why I do like, some other platforms, but
it's fair. Someday I'll be there too. Someday.
Heck yeah. Where if you had to pick a platform that you would really like to be on, like, and it could be also Facebook, but like, where would you want to be?
I'd like to be on Kick.
You want to be on Kick?
Just they seem the most relaxed about things in general. Right. I don't always talk about things that Facebook agrees with, and generally I tend to have some language about me. So Facebook's definitely not the best place for me to be.
Yeah,
but
I definitely can agree. I think Kick seems. In my personal opinion, I've always liked Kick. Even now, I love Kick, and the things I hear about them doing, I love the sound of it all. My only issue with Kick, it was, I had this whole thing where I was on Kick for a while. I didn't reach anybody new, so I did this. This is what I did. All right, you ready? So I streamed on TikTok. And at the time, there was a lot of people funneling in when I first started. And during a 2-week period, I had on my TikTok stream, right? One little thing said Twitch, and the other one said Kick, and they said Greenbay Kill on them, right? So it was like saying, hey, follow me here or here, like come to Kick or come to Twitch. We're on all of them, whatever. And during a 2-week period, there was like 300 people that came and followed on Twitch, and 2 people followed me on Kick. 2. Oof. So when you really look at the big picture, right, it's like Kick is great, but not a lot of people know about them. If your goal is to grow, that's just not where it's going to happen as fast. Some people have a different story, of course, but majority of the time I see that they have a community. They have other things going on. They have good viewership on YouTube videos. They have good viewership on their TikTok videos and streams, right? So they can kind of get that going. But at the end of the day, those same people, if they were on Twitch, there's so many more of the market share that actually they have Twitch on their phone installed, or they've heard of it, so it's a trusted thing that they are fine getting, right? Yeah. So
most of the time I bring up Kick, people think I'm talking about the KIK, the old Kick.
Oh yeah, the messenger app. Yep. Yeah, I remember that thing.
So I think that might be working against them just a little bit. At least a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Through the different platforms you've been on, I'm actually going to kind of point out TikTok for this one.
Okay.
The negative drawbacks or interactions from unpleasant viewers stream sniping you.
Oh yeah.
how did that play into you wanting to be a content creator? Did that ever wear on you, having to deal with that every time you got into, well, say Rust?
Is HD here? HD, you hear it? Because he would complain about it. He hated the stream snipers. Like that drove him so nuts. It like we'd be in calls together, just not on stream or anything, and he'd be like, "These stream snipers, I don't want to play with these people," And I thought it was funny. Not, I was, I don't want him to be upset, of course, but
Right.
I did a bad job about hiding it. So people figured it out, and we tried to tackle it many times. It did get old. It definitely got old, and it definitely annoyed me. Especially certain days where I'm like, I really want to just do something, and I'm having these people in my face shouting the N word. A lot of times that just like it ruined it for me. But at the same time, I could point out a lot of instances where it's all perception at the end of the day, or your perspective, right? Because I started to realize once it kind of, when maybe I would be playing not on stream and trying to record, or no one, or maybe it slowed down, they weren't stream sniping, right? I found that, well, and a lot of times they made for some good content. Like they actually, a lot of videos that I posted, there was one guy who he said, I've been looking for you for forever, man. And I'm like, well, hey, here we are. What do you want to do? And I'm like, let's go fight somebody, whatever. And he ends up telling me a story about how his girlfriend just broke up with him that day. And I'm like, oh man, no, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, dude. And I'm really bummed about it. And I said, you know what? Have you ever freestyled before? And he goes, no. And I said, I want you to do a freestyle right now about it. It was along these lines. And then I put on a beat, and he actually did a little freestyle, and it wasn't that bad. And it ended up being an awesome video, and a lot of people liked that video when I had posted it. So it's like, just those interactions with people can actually be the best. So it's kind of mixed. I loved it sometimes, and I hated it sometimes. But yeah, it definitely got annoying. That's very true. People standing outside with a double barrel waiting for us to leave the base every time. So yeah, that was fun.
That one server I played in with you, even after you left, I continued to get just harassed by, well, the N-word guys.
Oh, right.
Until I finally just left the server. And I was like, so I don't know if I want to play with GBK anymore.
Yeah.
Like even once he has to bounce, I'm just, I got to bounce too.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Those kinds of people ruin it for sure. And the sad part is that, especially around Rust, Rust is a very toxic community. There's a lot of people who are very immature, and I mean, there was a kid that stream sniped me all the time, and I wasn't on stream, but I pulled him into my Discord. He like joined a waiting room, and I figured out it was this kid. He was like maybe 14 or something, and he would say the N word, and he was like, just waiting for us all the time. And I ended up pulling him in. I had a genuine conversation with him, like, why are you saying, like, why are you okay saying this? And HD was with me, and we were talking to him, and eventually told him, like, we asked him, like, why do you say that? Like, why do you think it's fine? And he said, well, all my friends, it's just for fun. It's not like serious. I'm not like actually racist. I'm not actually, and I told him, like, and this was a kid, right? So he's very impressionable, and I just like, and he seemed very genuine about it. We're like, look, dude, like, just because your friends do it does not mean that makes you a cool kid, or actually, it makes you very completely opposite of what you think. Like, to little kids, everyone, they're laughing and saying, just saying horrible things. I was that age and had a lot of friends that would say some crazy stuff. So I understand being a kid, but yeah. Anyway, the Rust community is filled with people like that, and I think it just spreads because they all do it. So then they're just like fine continuing, just copying and pasting.
On the topic of Rust, I actually have a few questions on Rust. One, how much time does HD put into building bases for you on average? And getting everything ready?
Yeah, at the time he did a lot. And we had conversation. I would tell him like, bro, you don't need to do this. Like I never asked him to do any of what he did. He did it purely because and it was so great of him to do it because he wanted to do it because he knew it would help me. Like he knew then I wouldn't be grinding all day and I could just kind of do my thing, like make content or we could do our thing because we did a lot of things together and um yeah, he probably put in. We played on modded servers, so it wasn't like super long, but he put hours in probably each day that we did something because we would hop around a lot. So it would end up and people would offline rate us like every day, so we had to start fresh every time. But yeah, he put a lot of work in. He put a lot of work in for sure.
Let's say you never really made it on one server for more than what 2-3 days before the stream snipers got you.
Yeah, it'd be like 1 or 2 days, I think, on average that we would spend in the same server. There was one that we ended up liking a lot, and we stayed in that one repetitively. But it ended up getting too bad. Too many stream snipers figured it out, so we had to swap.
Damn them.
Yeah, they suck.
The Adventures of Rust. How did that happen? How does a masterpiece of epic proportions like that
You're talking about
get released? 2's, yes, you and Player 2's Adventures of Rust.
Yeah.
What a just cinematic masterpiece you two put on. How does that happen?
I think when you get someone like especially Player 2, when you get somebody like him, he's just kind of his brain just goes so fast, right? He's all content all the time. So like we would sit and talk and he would just have these ideas. When we first started, we had a small map and we talked about having our own server and then getting people involved and we would just like do stupid stuff, whatever. But of course, anytime we play, we're just kind of we're role playing off the rip. Like we're just RPing. And before we did any GTA RP or tried any kind of RP together, it organically just happened in our first season of Rust that we did. And we ended up it was the Luigians, right, versus the Notharians or whatever he called it. And so that just happened. And then all of a sudden there's groups and then there's some people who weren't a part of the war but kind of stayed on the outskirts. And Joshua Johnson, he built he had the most gear, he had the most out of all of us, and he was just in the small base on the coast, completely away from us. There was just so many things that I don't know. I loved that so much. I appreciate you bringing it back up because it lets me reminisce a little bit on that.
Oh, absolutely. I just binge watched it again.
Oh, really?
2 weeks ago. Yes, me and Jess both do. She loves it just as much as me.
That's freaking awesome.
I gotta ask.
Love to do something like that again, like just storyline stuff, like things where it kind of there's more to it than just random play. I like when there's kind of those goals in mind, like we're trying to make a story or just something crazy.
Now you said that was all off rip, so there was no like scripting to any of that. And I know even if I were to say script, it'd be a very loose term, but that was all just off rip.
So the first season that we did, it was for the most part, it was all organic. Once we kind of got into it and kind of saw where it was going, we definitely talked about it and we're like, where do we want this to end? Right. And we both right off the rip, we're like, we know we're going to war. We know we're going to battle it out. And it's going to be this epic battle. And we knew that would be the case. But it's pretty much how me and P2, when we were doing a lot of content together, more so GTA and Rust, like during those days, even the arc that we did for a little bit, every time we had a base, we gave ourselves not a script, but we always said like we had a start and an end, and then the whole journey was something that would just happen. But we knew where we wanted to kind of end up, and we knew how we kind of wanted to start. For a lot of things we did, but then we just let it happen. Just kind of whatever happened happened, and sometimes it was utter chaos, and other times it was actually really good stuff, like genuine. I miss the RP stuff, the GTA stuff a lot, because we did such, I don't know, I thought a lot of the things we did were really, there was a lot of more effort put in than I think a lot of people would realize. Like when we wanted to get like the Eagles, if because you would have been there for the Eagles, right, and all that. Like when we did um the first iteration, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we would grind hours offline to get enough money just to like get the things we needed. So then when it came to time, like, because in my opinion, I don't want to bore everybody. I don't want someone to watch me and I'm sitting here grinding, which I did do on a handful of occasions, but I tried to just optimally do it off stream. So grind hours, try and get it done so I could be ready. But we did stuff like that a lot.
So
yeah,
through all the times, and I take your side on this. I was on your side through all the Rust stuff. Okay, P2 was a bad guy.
always.
Me and Jess both know it. So you didn't know he was fixing to betray you every time he betrayed you, which was a lot of times. Like he just decided that day midstream, you know what? I'm gonna kill Noah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it was always funny, for sure. My favorite thing in again, this would be GTA again, when he was Peter, my cousin Peter, and I played Noah. It was just literally my name. But the story, it was actually so deep during that. It was so deep. And we didn't know it would go that way, but it did. And it was all because, again, Joshua Johnson. It was he started pulling strings behind the scenes, and we didn't know he was going to do anything, but all of a sudden he was there, and all this, we're getting a phone call from a random person telling us that they know about blank whatever, and we need to come to the Mojitos, or to this bar. So we drive all the way south, or north, I guess it would be. And we go in this bar, and there's armed guards, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, cars patrolling the perimeter kind of vibe, right? And who's inside with 2 guards beside him? It's Joshua's character sitting there with his arms crossed and like, lean back. And then he talks, and me and P2, we're keeping it cool. We're role playing through it, but we're like, I looked through the footage and we're both like in shock. We're both just like mouths open. We're like, what is happening? Like, and he offered, like, at the time he had paid those people in the server. He said, hey, you want to make $50 and to play that role. So he went as far as to like do that to set up a dope scene. And that actually started his whole, when he got really into GTA RP, he started seeing like how fun it could be to create a story, right? And then actually see it come to life, which I always thought was really cool. So we started playing GTA, but he joined in and brought it really to life to show us like what it could really be. Anyway, there's a point to this. At the very end, time after time, Peter betrayed me, right? So player 2 is just constantly stabbing me or, throwing me in the dirt, whatever it is. Constantly I'm being thrown under the bus. But at the very end, very end, there was someone who was disguised as Joshua, right? And Peter thought he killed him, and then we escaped on a boat just for me to pull over in the boat with who was going to be Rachel, right? And it wasn't. It was Joshua. So he was disguised as somebody else, right? And it kind of didn't make sense. He was a woman character at that point. But it's still just, it's a game. And it was, just to be fun. But that part didn't make 100% sense. But, I say, Peter, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I pull my gun. blast him, absolutely annihilate him, and that's his character permanently dies at that point. And then Joshua's character standing over him just starts laughing and going, "You thought you could kill me." Stupid Peter, whatever. And then it ends. And but yeah, it was such I loved me and P2, we were able to make a lot of great content at that time. I really loved. It was a lot of fun.
Definitely the best content I've ever seen by far. I'm just throwing it out there. I've seen a lot of content too. So, man, that's pretty high praise from your boy.
I appreciate that. I do. I really do appreciate it.
On the topic of GTA, which definitely was some of my favorite performances from you, mostly because of your character creation.
Okay.
How did you come up with your characters?
I think the funnest one that I did come up with was Milo. Milo was easily my favorite. Still is, because I think he is still alive. Absolutely.
His voice is etched in my brain for eternity.
Yeah. The first stream, I went back and watched it. I don't think it's available anymore, which sucks. I wish I would have recorded that, and I might have it somewhere on my hard drive. But I made a character and I wanted him to be really ugly. So I just would randomly, your question is how did I come up with it, I guess. So I should answer that. I would just randomly, a lot of times, I would kind of have a backstory that I wanted for a character. Like, what do I want their goal to be is more so, I guess, what I would do. What do I want them to be doing? And a lot of times I didn't know, but as I kept making more characters, I started to want to think about it a little bit more. Just what did I want them to accomplish or do or whatever. And Milo was funny because I wanted him to be just an ugly character that would pretty much anyone who's around him, he would kind of act as a repellent, and they just wouldn't. I didn't want people to like him because I don't know why. I thought it would be funny, someone who comes around that annoys, is annoying. It would be funny because people would genuinely get annoyed with my character, their reactions would become funny. And I wasn't it was just because I was being loud, no one wants to hear, well, hey now, man, how you doing now? And I'm louder than everybody, and it's just obnoxious. But his voice initially was like Hulk Hogan. Well, hey there, brother. It was like that. And I don't know, the voice changed 4 different times because I couldn't come up with anything. And then randomly that hit me where I started doing that. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. And so that's where Milo's voice was completely random. It started out in 4 different ways first, and then it was Milo.
Now, when you did GTA, you hopped through a couple servers. Did you like the more random servers, or did you have your best moments in the server you did the alien stuff with? I believe the one that JJ was behind all that.
I think that's a good question. I'm reminiscing and trying to remember. I think honestly, if I had to be on, it was all great. And obviously Joshua, he was able to, I know him, and so I'm able to talk to him and be like, hey, these are some ideas I think would be cool. And he could make some things happen. Right. So it allowed for me to kind of focus more on the content versus being in a random server where I'm grinding. I can say this now because AAC is no longer up anymore. So, but when I played a character named Deacon and I ended up packaging, I wanted to make my own business packaging and being a provider for the different gangs. I just wanted to see what the dynamic would be if I did that. And I told Joshua about my idea, but I was grinding hours and hours to actually package all of it. I was actually doing all of it. And I would do a lot of it off stream, just sit there and just go, right? But I eventually talked to him. I'm like, hey, can you just give me the stuff? Because I don't want to grind for it. and he did do it. He ended up just as much as I needed, but I didn't do it to make money in the game. I told him at a point, I want to create the connections with everybody but then I want there to be some falling outs because no matter what,
Oh.
these gangs aren't going to like that, right? And it's going to cause them actual, there was always the problem that they just were bored. So then they would shoot someone and then a beef started and then everyone's annoyed because there's no storyline behind it. There's no purpose. They just want to shoot each other, right? I thought that was boring. So in my head, well, now I'm creating a dynamic where, well, I don't want you to sell to them or I don't want you to do this. And so they're going to protect me, but this person doesn't like that. So now they're cutting off my supply. So when I'm down there, they're taking me out, watching, and then ultimately it would create these wars or people would have these organic beefs over it because they wanted that free money I was giving to them pretty much. I'm just handing them free money and they want it, right? So then it creates that tension for everybody. And I liked it a lot. But I told them eventually I just wouldn't have enough because X gang was preventing me, right? And then that would cause those internal problems. I didn't get that far, unfortunately, but yeah, he gave me guns and stuff. He gave me like giant shotguns and ARs. And the goal was to actually clean it up on the server too. Because there was guns everywhere. So we wanted to get guns out of everyone's inventories to kind of clean it up, I guess. So that was the idea there. He would give me those big guns and I would make trades where, well, you got to give me like 10 of that smaller gun that's not as good for this one really good one. Because ultimately a cop finds it on you, they take the one and then now 12 guns are gone. And it kind of helped him clean the server up. There's a lot of that stuff behind the scenes that he dealt with, but I would say, yes, I would say, like those servers were the best, the ones that I was established in, not necessarily randoms. The randoms were funny to troll in for sure. Like we had a lot of fun doing that, but even the first one we played in, I feel like was my favorite experience because it was my first time getting into it. So I'd probably say that's it, AAC and I think it was called True RP. Those two were my favorites. I loved them.
Jessica actually used to watch all those with me as well, and I think she developed kind of a disdain for it because as I prepared to get a PC and try and play GTA RP with you, I had started developing characters.
Oh, okay.
Already. And I already do accents. I do a lot of accents all the time. Some are pretty good, some not so much. But so I just gave all my accents a name.
Ah,
Now,
okay.
Jess she went to school for alcohol, drug studies, and psychology.
Okay, that's cool.
So she knows that if you do that long enough, you can actually give yourself multiple personality disorder.
Really?
Yeah, you get too stuck into characters and they become real.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I started messing with her about it a lot and telling her that she was talking to us and stuff. And yeah, she can thank GTA RP for all of it.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
And then by the time I got my PC, you moved on to Rust.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's still to this day, I love Rust, but GTA, I feel like I had some of my it's almost a tie between GTA and Rust for me. Like the stuff we did in both of them were so fun. I just like GTA because I felt like there was a lot more freedom to the point. Everyone's point is to be RPing, which a lot of people didn't do, but that's the point of it, right? In Rust, I'm trying to do those things, and most people are like, "I want your loot," and they just kill me off rip, right? And so that's a little different. But practically, people in GTA did that anyway, at a certain point. But what can you do,
Evan, you just said that you move games like you move streaming platforms.
That's not true. I don't think that's not 100%. Okay.
Now, big question. New Grand Theft Auto coming out next year. Will you be playing?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm really looking forward to just like the story, the general game in of itself. But they've already talked about the fact that there would be an iteration of 5M, right? It would be the new thing. So there's going to be GTA RP and GTA 6.
Oh, right off the rip there will be?
No, I don't think off the rip. I don't believe so, but it's been a while since I've looked into it, but they talked about because 5M and GTA they work together, right? 5M initially was like its own thing, but GTA it realized so much of their player base was actually from people doing the RP, so now they support it. So they're
Okay.
like helping fund and I don't know if they bought them out and now they run it. I don't really know 100%. I don't think they own it, but they partner together. But now like those cars, you could actually buy real cars in GTA. Now you can't do that. If you have real cars in your server, GTA now supports it, so it's not allowed. You can't have those,
Oh.
drive, which I think sucks because that was one of the best features that people loved is that you could have these vehicles that weren't actually, real like actual real vehicles in the game.
I
Which was
always wondered how they got away with that. Like when you see a, perfect replica Charger rolling through the game, and I'd be like, I don't
how
think
does
you
that
can
work?
do that.
Right?
Well,
And
that
now
makes
you
more sense
can.
now.
Yeah, now you can't. But yeah, I think they're because of that being the case. I think that they're probably gonna. My guess is they would release the game and then maybe like knowing them, I feel like it might be like a good solid year, like before you would see that iteration come in of the RP aspect. And I don't know if it'd be 5M or not, but that would be really fun to me to do the RP and the new. I mean, the graphics look insane, and obviously, just you can just imagine how much more you're going to be able to do. So I think it's going to be really fun. Definitely
I'm
looking
stoked
forward
for
to
it.
that.
I will definitely be getting an RP if you join one this time.
Oh yeah,
I'm keeping
dude,
my characters ready, so as long as I don't go crazy beforehand, I'll be here to do it.
Heck yeah. Dude, yeah, I would love to. Even now, like, because I made HD install everything, and we played one time, not on stream. Like, I think maybe we were streaming it, but, and then I just didn't. That's when I was gone. Like the next day, I made some decisions like that. So I haven't played since, but I still want to, and I want to make content around it. I just find that I'm still wanting to post stuff. Like right now, I've been trying to with the time that I have, but I feel like Rust is just something that I enjoy, and I know it seems majority of people do enjoy it. GTA was one that I found it was kind of difficult to how to make stuff with it, like
Right.
video content and things like that. I think it made for good stuff, but I struggled to have any traction or anyone seeming to enjoy it like how I felt I enjoyed it. I'd watch a video that I'd make and be like, "Oh, that's so funny. Everyone's got to love that." And that wouldn't be the case.
Really,
But
I thought God, it seemed like you're just doing really well with the GTA content. I mean, maybe it was just me. Me and Jess both loved it. We sat there all night watching it, so maybe it was
yeah,
just us. But
I think the live streams it seemed like people did like it. But I think it was the community who was already there, and then whoever was stream sniping as well. Those people were there because there would be so many.
yeah,
Something would go down, and all of a sudden there's 20 extra people that pull up, and no one says anything. It would be like a rival gang or whoever, and it's how it is. But um, yeah, I think it was great though. I think the content was the best, but I still want to do it though. I'm still planning to.
well, I hope you get back into it. You gotta let me know if you do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Especially if it's not on stream, because then it won't be so nerve-wracking.
That's my plan as of right now. I plan to just do stuff off stream for the most part. I'm kind of wanting to, even though I love it, I think streaming's great. I'm wanting to personally move away from it a bit. Not entirely, but I just want to put more of my efforts towards actually like I said at one point, I'm gonna upload a YouTube video every Friday, and I only get 3 Avitos, and I'll do a hot gummy bear if I don't. And I didn't do any of that. But that's because I would always focus. I'd put the streams first and like think about, oh well, I don't want to put this out because I want to put a video out that's would promote the TikTok live or whatever, like that kind of my thought process would be. But I think at the end of the day, video content is what's going to grow you. like you're going to grow with video content. So I want to do more planning. Like you're saying, like off stream, there's not as much pressure, right? And you can kind of take a second. I could sit back, be quiet for a little while, maybe write some things down. Like I want to try and do this. Let me see if I can do this, and then put my efforts toward just doing it rather than when I'm live, I'd always care about dead space. I don't want to just sit here and then I'm just grinding
it's
all
tough.
these materials to do the thing I want to do. When you're just recording, well, I don't care. I can take all this time to grind for materials, and then when I'm ready to do it, then boom, I can do it. And I think that's my plan as of right now. I'm just gonna do a lot of that.
Oh, that's one thing I do with because almost all my podcasts are by myself. Like I said, you're my official first official. That's what we dubbed it the other night. The official first official interview.
Heck yeah.
So to sit here and talk, especially without the help of like a video game, or my shows are usually about hour and a half. I think we almost said 2 hours the other night, and not have dead space, that is tough. I don't like talking that much.
Yeah.
So it gets tough.
It could be hard. Yeah. I think I always tried my best, like, and I thought about it a lot for sure. Just like when you're live, you want to, your goal is, and everyone has a different goal, right? But I think a lot of people who are live, your hope is that you're engaging your audience. The people who want to watch you, you're being engaging, right? You're trying to make an effort to entertain or educate or whatever it is you're doing. You don't want to just be sitting there not having anything to say or do, right? That could help that, right? So, it could be stressful, especially if you're doing hours and hours and hours and you're trying to put out that good energy. And sometimes it's just not, you ain't got that kind of energy. I remember a lot of times I play with P2 and he'd message me, "Are you okay, dude?" I'm like, I'm just tired. Like I'm tired and like I hate Warzone right now. I don't. And that's like,
yeah, that got tough for you. We all saw it. Warzone definitely got tough. It's all better now. Rebirth Island's back.
Yeah, I mean, every time I've played it, I've liked it. I actually want to play. Like right now, I think it sounds fun to play. Like I just think it's fun, and it's nice to have that feeling about it again because I hated that game, but now I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't played it, and so I took such a huge break from it. Now I can actually play it and be like, oh yeah, I remember how this used to feel back in the day. I played with a couple of them.
I gave you a lot of grief when you stopped playing that game, but I totally understood.
A lot of people did, which is right. I get it though. I get it. It's what I did. So then all of a sudden I'm doing the thing that people aren't necessarily as interested in. And, people don't want that.
Yeah. The funny part was I found the GTA content and the Rust content way more entertaining than Warzone content. But if you're not doing Warzone, I can't like miss out on viewer games.
Right. Yeah.
That I always aspired to be a part of, but hardly ever made it to them. So
yeah, I know. I know. And that's part of why I said I think the community felt so much tighter during the Warzone era, which would have been the Facebook era as well for me, or that time period. I just feel like the viewer games, supporter games, that kind of stuff, like it just felt like I could really, I don't know, like I could actually talk to everybody, like and play. It was just, I really liked that aspect of being able to feel closer with the community in that aspect. And then, but when I did GTA, well, now you just exclude everyone who has consoles, which was most people, right? So they can't join in. So I feel like a lot of the community at that point didn't like that. They didn't like it. They kind of dipped off, right? Which I think that's it's just how it goes. When the audience is based around a specific game, well, you do something else and now they're like, well, that's not my thing. So they leave and they watch the next guy who does that game, that they like. So that's just how the game is. That's the game you play when you're streaming or whatever. I'm interested. I'd like to watch some of your stuff with, you're saying you do like a solo podcast. what kind of topics are you typically talking about? Like, what kind of stuff are you doing?
It gets all over the place. It gets everywhere.
Okay.
Generally, I'll come in with kind of a game plan for one or two subjects or topics for the night, and chat ends up dictating the rest. They usually get me pulled off subjects anyway, and get me ranting about whatever chat wants. Chat kind of runs the show.
That's a good way to do it, though. I mean, that kind of gives you a loop, right? You have, again, that's the good game plan that I like, is you have kind of like, you know how you kind of want to start, maybe how you want to end, but it's like, people being involved kind of help fill a gap, so to speak, or just letting it go, right? Kind of, I don't know. I like that. I definitely like that. You talk about anything controversial?
Oh yes, that's why Facebook doesn't like me.
And that's why you want to kick.
I just talk about whatever. The other night we went from talking about the Baltimore Bridge attack to what kind of friends do you keep in your corner and how do they support you? Like, just extremes.
Yeah, those are definitely two. They're very different.
Yeah,
but
it's wherever it goes.
I think that's good though.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, I try and put out a positive message through the podcast. That's the ultimate goal. Educating people on subjects or current events is great, but I always just want people to leave happier than they came in. If that makes.
Yeah. No, I definitely can agree with that. Like, I think one of my favorite. I don't want to name drop anybody.
Oh, you can name drop. Name drop it up.
No, because it's personal for individuals.
Oh,
but
okay.
I remember when I was first on Facebook. I remember when I was like kind of starting, I'd get it all of a sudden. I got a DM, and that person's still around to this day, and I just remember getting a message really early on during my Facebook days, and they just like told me how much the content meant. Like, and I felt so shocked by that because that's the first time anyone had ever told me anything like that, and how much it mattered. That kind of that is one of my biggest things I actually miss right now. Like, right now, my job is I stand at a machine and I'm brain dead. I'm literally a brain dead zombie. And I just sit there and put a part in or raw material, let it do its thing. I might change some tools out, whatever. But I'm just making a part on repeat, doing the same action for 10 hours straight. Right. It's not the most satisfying thing to do. I'm not going to complain because I actually I like getting in there and working and earning it and feeling that. And I like it. But one thing I miss is that sense of, well, I call it purpose, maybe call it, I don't know what other word, but like you said, it's like if you're doing it for a living and like, man, this just made some people's night. They loved it. They were here and it meant something to them. Like, you feel that kind of feeling feels so good. And I loved that. I absolutely love that. So I will say that that's definitely something I do miss a lot. Just being able to vibe with people and knowing that it meant something to not everybody. Some people liked it. It's just entertaining. And I think that's great. But a lot of friendships I made that meant a lot to me, so it's like, don't get that as much now. But they're still there, obviously, it's just not every day, like the norm or whatever.
No, I would venture to say you probably touched a lot of people in a non-Diddy way.
Pause. No.
Evan E says, GBK did so much more for others than he knew he ever did. Evan, I completely agree. Evan, you've been lucky enough to actually meet the beautiful man,
Yeah, we had a
lucky man,
I definitely we had a beautiful moment, and that's all I will say on it. With everybody when we went to Vegas, we had dinner and heard some stories, and I don't know, it just meant a lot to, like, I mean, just, I don't know. I love the people of the. I don't want to say I like it's these are personal things I don't know if I should share. about people's stories, which is why I'm like mumbling around it. But yeah, just some things that you don't realize are going on for some people, and then realizing what you're doing could mean something, and you don't. I never thought that at all. And I don't like to think that either. I think it can come off as like, would the word be maybe even like ego? If you think like, oh yeah, I mean something to people. Yeah, they love what I do.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't like.
if you say it like that,
Well,
it
yeah,
might
it
sound a
comes.
little bad.
Well, that's how I always felt when I would think it, though. I would think I don't want to think that, but that is how it. In some cases, it just means something to people that you don't realize, and it feels good. And I definitely I want to achieve that again, but with balance in my life, where I can support my family and spend plenty of time, like just very good personal time with my family, but also do content because I just it's a beautiful thing.
So do you think you're finding that balance now with where you're at, or at least getting closer to it?
Like, what do you say it again? You think what?
Do you think you're finding that balance between family, content creation, and everything now? Do you think you're getting closer to a good balance that will allow you to do everything you want to do?
Yeah, I think no, but I only say that because the current issue at the moment is that I'm pretty much non-existent with my family 4 days out of the week. I don't see my son and I don't see my wife 4 days straight because I'm night shift. So I come home, I sleep, then when I wake up, they're gone, and I go to work before seeing either of them to come back when they're asleep. And I'm not cool with that. I'm not okay with it. And it was fine for a while, but that's something that's starting to eat at me. And Key, and I think Zach too, but he's always like happy. Like he's definitely always happy to see me, but it makes me think like, I bet I know I want it more. Like I know he would probably appreciate if it was, I could see him every night, not 3 days out of the week. So I would say no, a hard no, but that's only because of that. But in terms of, I have time to do stuff right now because during the day I'm awake and I'm alone here. So it's like, I can sit here and edit for a while. I can sit here and try and learn this or that. And if this is how it's going to be, then I might as well utilize my time. And I want to be doing this kind of stuff. So yes and no, but kind of hard no.
Understandable. Totally understand that. I mean, that's a lot of lost time. I get it. Speaking on time here, we're at about an hour and a half. We're at 9:30. I'm guessing Zach is either going to bed or in bed.
Probably not. Yeah, he's kind of he's more of a 10. Well, actually, no, I guess that's not true. He's been doing pretty good, but there's a lot of time, like especially during the weekend, I notice he does not want to go to sleep. Like he stays up for a while, so he'd probably be he'll probably be tired around like 10 or 10:30. So I mean close, but
well, we can we can close out the interview here if you want to go get some time in, or
yeah, I mean it's up to you. If you have anything else, like I'd love to go through it, but
we actually went through all the material I had ready. I actually had like a notepad thing and everything ready for this. Very impressive.
No, I very honest. I enjoyed this a lot. Oh, I actually did. I've done a handful. I should say, I guess there's been a handful of things I've done. I actually really like how you have done this in a way that was, I don't know, like I guess I'm trying to think of how to word it. Just how you formulate having all the questions ready and prepared. Like every time I've talked to someone, it's kind of just been off the cuff a little bit, I guess. And I actually kind of like structure. I like when it feels like a show, so to speak. So I appreciate the let's call it professionalism.
So I was
but really
going
though,
for.
I like it. I didn't know what to expect. But I think it's really cool, bro. Like I genuinely like it.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like I said, you're the official first official.
Official first official, baby.
Official first official. Hopefully there's more to come, but no, I'm so incredibly happy you agreed to do this. I couldn't have thought of a better person to get the first official done
Yeah.
with.
But please don't hate me for the 2 weeks that have done that. I
Oh no,
genuinely
that
I
just gave me
mean
more
it.
time.
It okay, and I'm glad that you feel that way, but it's honestly like I told Kiana, I'm like, I feel like he's gonna hate, like he has to hate me because I just forgot. And like, how do I just forget? Like, I genuinely was excited, and then all of a sudden the next day goes, or I remember I was live, and you're like, hey man, and then instantly I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I feel dead. Like I'm like, there's no way. Like
Yeah, I
I
could tell
just
by the look in your face. I was like, oh, I just made him feel bad in stream. Like,
well, that's when I'm like, I'm gonna give you my number, and you can just like, if you don't hear from me, you can call my phone. Like you actually call me and be like, hey man, you remember that thing we're doing? Like, yeah,
no,
I'm
it
gonna
all worked out real good. I took this last week to, like I said, binge watch the Rust series again anyway, just to stay up on all of it because it's a lot to take in. So
yeah, pause. But yes, of course, it's a lot to take in. No, but no, that I love God. I want to watch it now too. Like now that you mention it, I want to go back through and watch a lot of that stuff because it was just so that stuff was so much fun. And I believe he finished the last thing. Actually, I don't know. Did he? Because we did uh season 2, or was it season 3?
season 3.
Season 3. That was the last thing that we did. Yeah, was it?
We're waiting on season 4. We're waiting. I speak for everybody when I say that.
Man. Yeah, I want to. That stuff was so good. The last thing we did with Aqua and all that, that was ridiculous. That was so
Where did
ridiculous.
Oxqua come from? Who was that? Just a random like word vomit? Like someone just threw it out?
Yeah, that was completely random. I just randomly said it. I think because he was talking to me and I'm like I was like a crazy person, right? He had the whole storyline that I was away for a long time, or I was a descendant or something of we were descendants of our like God, I can't remember it now, but it was something like that. And I had been scarred by all the war that had happened, so I'm a nomad, supposed to be like living by myself or whatever. But I'm supposed to
Just
be. I was
slipping
like
into
crazy with,
madness.
yeah. So it's just Aqua. Super random. It was just it's literally all it was.
Oh no, it got me and Jess good. We died. That was so funny. And then when you decide to just randomly take off into the sky the one day,
Oh,
like like when you
it's
went full possessed from Oxqua and you just
yeah,
like
yeah,
developer mode shot into the sky.
yeah. Oh, I think it made for. Again, we didn't plan any of that stuff, but I'm like, I'm just gonna play into it, and since it was our server, I could just put in code fly, and then my character could just fly in the air and just like, I'm like, help! Aqua's taking me. It was so stupid. So funny though.
All
But
right. Well, I'll let you go so you can go get some time with your boy. I'm gonna catch up with some of my chat here. And again,
okay.
thank you so incredibly much, Noah, for doing this. It means a lot. This was it was really fun.
Dude, yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. And thank you for having me as the first official guest.
First official or official first official. Yep. Thank you, Noah, again, and until the next one.
Till the next one, man. Hey, pleasure, bro. You take care. Have a good night, man.
Chat, I'm still here. Hold on, chat. Let me switch things around here so I can get back to you guys. Hold on. I'm coming. Whoa, why is chat all messed up? What is going on here? Chat. What are you guys doing? There you are. There's my beautiful chat. All right, everyone. How'd we do? How'd we do? I didn't do much. I just asked a couple questions. Noah handled all that like a boss. We do all right. Evan E, if you're still in here, it was really great to see you in here. I'm really happy you came. Don't tell the other Evans, but you're my favorite Evan. Always have been. Don't tell the other Evans, though. They don't need to know that. Whoops, I'm scrolling chat. I know you guys have some questions, and I'm so sorry I did not get to them. The way I had everything laid out, and I didn't want to take my attention away from GBK or come off as uninterested in what he was saying. That's why I did not acknowledge chat basically the whole stream. I just wanted to make sure he knew he had my 100% undivided attention. And especially some of the stuff he was talking, he has so many good points. I don't know, McBee is kind of cool. McBee do seem kind of cool. I ain't gonna lie. He seems cool, but you've always been my Evan. I'm pretty sure you're the only one I ever played Warzone with too. And I'm pretty sure I still got you on my friends list. So, saying, if I see you on, I'm probably going to start sending you invites. Because now that you've been in the podcast, we got to play Warzone together. All right, I'm going to scroll chat. Sorry, everyone. I didn't miss a whole lot. Okay, I did. Never mind. It just wasn't showing me. Yeah, no, Noah's streams definitely meant a lot more than a lot to me. If it wasn't for Noah, I'll tell everyone right now, if it wasn't for Noah, I would not be doing this podcast. Because I was just never comfortable enough really with myself or being on video to do such a thing like this. And, after watching Noah for so long, that's really where I got this comfort from. The man is got an incredible ability to just be himself, have fun, and not give a hold on. Fudge. And that's where a lot of the inspiration to finally do this came from. That was all Noah. I told him that when he quit streaming too. When he said he was going to quit streaming, I sent him that message. So definitely meant a lot to me. And the fact he was willing to come on and do this interview with me, like, I was worried I was going to come off as like a fanboy because I was so excited about this. I've been talking about it for weeks. Just invite me and I will gladly join. My man, I know you're a pretty good looking man. Pause. Thank you, Evan. That's like the nicest thing anyone said to me today, other than the good jobs. Noah quit streaming every other week. I don't know. He was gone for what, like 3 months, 2 months, something like that. It felt like a long ass time before I got that Twitch notification a couple weeks ago, randomly streaming again, or like a month ago, whatever it was. I'm horrible with time. Time is not my friend. Dan says, Dan El Jefe Melgren, the boss. Very well done. Professional experience. P.S. I told you not to trip. Look what happened. Nah, see, you always be knowing. I was nervous at first, though. I was nervous on the intro. Anyone that saw the intro, you probably saw the nerves a little shook. But no, I recouped. You need to go see him again. I miss him low-key. I hope to see him someday. I'm actually not that far from him. I'm right in Minnesota. He's not that far from me, I should say. I was here first. I'm like 10 years older than him, so I was here first. But yeah, hopefully he does like a meet and greet someday again. Hopefully. Otherwise, I'll just tell him we got to do our next podcast live together. Like, sit down at a like table or something. We could always plan a trip. Let's do it. Let me know. Me and Jess have been known to drive all over this country. We have drove to Nevada. We've drove to Tennessee. We drove to Arkansas. We drive all over the fucking place. Or not, no, we haven't drove to Tennessee. I've drove to Tennessee. I'm at Oklahoma. But yeah, no, like Illinois, that's a short trip. If a meet and greet, I got his Addy, we can pull up. Yeah, let me know. I'll pull up on Noah any day. Any day. Just misses traveling? I know, me too. I haven't taken a trip in a while. At least it feels that way. But, you know how I am with time. So, all right. That is all I had. I didn't have any material behind the GBK interview tonight. Just that. Iowa don't count. Oh, you live in Georgia? I've been to Georgia one time. Columbus, Georgia. My brother went to basic training down at, what is that? Fort, oh God, I can't remember it now. But whatever, he went to basic training down there. That place is pretty wild. Like, which part of Georgia? Like, close to like Atlanta type area, or do you out kind of like boonies? And are you still doing your electrician job? If so, I hope it's going well. I hope you've been enjoying it. Wyoming is amazing. Amazing. I fucks with the Wyoming. Fort Benning. Thank you, Dan. Big Dow. Fort Benning, yes. A couple times to Chicago and Windsor, Illinois. Okay. I don't know which part of Illinois GBK hails from, but I just know he's in Illinois. He's a very, very secretive man. He's kind of like a Bruce Wayne. You know what I mean? Hour south of Atlanta, and had to quit that. Had back surgery last July. I work at Best Buy now. Bro, what'd you do to your back? Like compressed disc or what? Like what? What? Dude, I'm so sorry to hear that, Evan. What do you do at Best Buy? Running shit? Man, that's horrible, dude. I'm so sorry to hear that. Back surgery can fuck anybody up. My mom had back surgery. And even afterwards, like, pretty sure her back has never been the same. It's super sad. Like, I go to, me and Jess both, and my son, my 9-year-old son, he's been going to the chiropractor basically since he was, like, born. Otherwise, I go once a week, once every other week. Otherwise, my back used to be messed up. And that's what I was trying to avoid, is ever having back surgery. It ruptured 2 discs, and it hit my hit your sciatic nerve. Could not work for 4 months. I'm good now. Holy dude. How's it driving? Does it like agitate your back or anything driving, or like being just in the sitting position for too long? That's horrible, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. All right. Once we get this answer from Evan, we're gonna be hopping off the podcast. We got about an hour 40 minutes going. I got a son with a computer that's not working across the hallway, so I know he's not happy. And your boy still got to eat dinner. So I would like to thank everyone that made it in, that's still here. It's like 5 of us in here. Thank you, everybody, for being here for the interview with GBK. It means a lot to me. As always, we got our answer. Nothing hurts anymore. Only weather changes, and it hurts a tad bit. That's very good to hear, man. I'm happy to hear you ain't dealing with the pain. Some people never escape it, so very happy for you. And if I twist the wrong way, I mean, I'm old enough that if I twist the wrong way, it's going to hurt no matter what, too. So, I mean, that was going to come with age either way. Oh, yes. That's right. Tomorrow, 420. Everyone, don't forget about the class field trip. Buca de Beppo, 6 o'clock. If you want a pregame, let me know, because we're going to be celebrating the holiday all day after soccer. Oh, you're only 24? Yeah, see, I'm 35. So, I mean, oh, man. When I got it's all fixed up, man, because if you had to go from 24 on with a messed up back, that would really fuck with your life. Dustin said, I see a chiro every 2 weeks. Yep, same here, bro. Like, I live by the chiropractor. Didn't just stop my back pain because my back was all fucked up, but like I sleep better now, better digestive health and all that stuff. Like, nah, mentally way better, so much better mentally. But you'll be here in the morning, Dustin? All right, sounds good, sounds good. All right. As for all of you, everyone have a great night. Sleep well, eat well, be well. I love you guys. We'll see most of you tomorrow. The rest of you next time.